Triple Shot Mindset.
I hear you're a medium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever do large or extra small?
Now you're stealing my joke. My joke.
All right, so you're a medium,
Yeah. Occasionally a large.
occasionally large. Do you see dead people?
Yes.
Do you see them or do you feel them?
Mostly feel.
Okay.
But I have, so there's clairvoyance, which is where you can see. I can't see for shit, not in real life and not in spiritual world. I had to have LASIK. I was like legally blind. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. So, and even now it's crazy. Even with LASIK now, I can feel how my body's natural way is to take energy out of my eyes. Because when I get sleepy, the first thing that gets tired, my eyes. Anyway, digressing. I'm not clairvoyant. I'm clairaudient, so I can hear whispers, sounds, voices. I'm claircognizant, so I'll just know things. And then there's a couple more. I can use my nose to smell, like in a spiritual way. Like I can smell when people are getting sick. Yeah.
Like a dog.
I guess, yeah.
Because there's some dogs that can actually sense illness. Okay.
So seeing is my least good sense, sadly. Not visual person, can't see shit. So I don't see dead people. I sense them, I feel them, I smell them. I love cemeteries. And occasionally I'll go to particular areas and get like downloads from either the families who have visited or the people themselves, whatever. So I have done work for people where I've contacted their deceased loved ones. I've had deceased loved ones visit while I'm in the middle of a session with someone, even if it's not like they're not asking for that. It's not, but it's relevant somehow. What else? I've had family members pass and then give messages, friends pass and give messages, and I can pretty much contact a soul and see where it is in terms of what life it's in. So for some, maybe this is more information than you want.
No, I love this.
Okay. But for some, it's like they've gone on to be creatures in other dimensions. Like my mom's mom is like this blue avian, but she'll still occasionally come if I like summon her or ask her for something, or she'll come to give me messages about my mom. But my mom's brother, who's deceased, is like nowhere to be found. Like he surrendered his identity and then went back to source and has not, like it's like he's replenishing. We have a deceased loved one who's and it's really interesting with like Christian people, because they always believe that their person is going to die and then go to heaven and like stay in that body. But that's actually not true for everyone, even if you believe it. So some of them have gone to like a paradise-like place where their soul is like recharging. Others are still around. Their spirit is still around, like completing lessons through loved ones. And then others have gone on to new lives, like next lives. So it's really interesting. There's no formula for determining where a person goes or why that I can tell. Like I can't look at someone in life and then be like, oh yeah, they're going to be back. I mean, if you get really, really deep, you can ask their soul. It's already all mapped out. But it's different for every soul, it seems.
When you talk about, and I've heard this from other people, that they say that the soul comes here to learn some lessons, and then they go on to the next stage. Wouldn't you think that the grandness of the universe, the souls are already equipped with certain lessons? Why do they have to come earthside to learn and grow and then go back out again?
I don't know if they come to learn lessons. That's a very, and I love to teach. That's a very teachy, preachy shit to say. The universe is experiencing itself through humanity. That can feel like learning lessons if you put a lesson lens on it. But it's also just to experience humanity. It's not about the lesson, it's about the experience. You know what I mean? Like, you can ask someone, let's say, who was married for 10 years, well, what did you learn from that? Or you can say, what did you experience during that time? It's the same events, but it's a different lens, if that makes sense. So you could say that, but I really don't think it's about lessons, and I don't think it's a game that you're here to win either. But you can put whatever lens on it you want.
Someone like Sylvia Brown, deceased.
The psychic,
she's deceased. But she used to go on Montel Williams' show. And she would, let's say, some lady would say, hey, I lost my dad, or my dad was lost, camping. She would say, yeah, he's showing me he's dead, and he moved on, and now he's in another universe.
Oh.
Is it that fast of a communication?
Not for me. Maybe for Sylvia Brown. For me, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you a story real quick after this, but
You must.
it is not my first line of work or purpose to be a medium. That's like a side effect of being me. So I don't have that access where I could just pull up anyone's dead person at will. Some people can really just look into the other side and see it, perceive like your whole lineage going that way, backwards and forwards, and like ping, pull that out. Doesn't usually come to me like that. So I've had people ask me to contact their dead relatives, and like I struggle or I can't. If I try to do it of my own volition to pry into someone's world, I can't always do that either. So if I was on a television show and someone was asking me to do that, I think I'd fail. I don't think, because in a way that's like not my gift. That's not my specific line of work. So it comes and goes more for me. But it can be that simple. A dead one can reach out and say something. But let me tell you the story I'm going to tell you. One time, I went to a neighbor's house 2 years ago. And I kept hearing someone talking to me in the house. And this neighbor is always traveling. I don't even know her that well. She's lived there the whole time I've been in the neighborhood with her husband. They're really cool people, but I'm in the house and I'm like, what is this voice I'm hearing? It's a male voice. I obviously can't see it. I told you guys I can't see shit. And it's like chatter, chatter, chatter that I can't discern. And I finally sit down on the couch with a glass of wine that she and her husband have made like in their wine barrel in the backyard. And I look over to the left and there's a picture of an elderly man. And immediately I can see now the source of the voice and all the words become crystal clear. And he starts saying to me, this is my daughter. That's my daughter. And I love her so much. I'm so proud of her. Don't you think she's great? And I'm like, sure, I guess. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm sipping this wine and progressively getting tipsier, which, by the way, substances can affect the way the intuition works. Sometimes it deepens it. Sometimes it makes it more shallow. I'm getting progressively tipsier because I can't hold wine. It's the only liquor or the only alcohol that destroys me every time, immediately. I'm thinking, am I supposed to tell her this? And he's like, no, I'm just telling you. It's just for you to know that I'm proud of her. I was like, oh. I told my mom that story later, and she said, why didn't you tell her? You should have told her. That's her business. And I said, Mom, the dead people who are communicating aren't always trying to reach the person. If they want to reach a specific person, they'll find a way. Sometimes they're communicating to others because there's a message in there for them. For me, the message was, you're in my daughter's house. Have some respect. He was like a guardian. Like, you don't know her, but I'm here. I reside here. I'm proud of her. I think she's the best, and have some fucking respect was like the energy. It wasn't for her. It was for me.
Yeah.
So you don't know how a ghost or a spirit is protecting a domain, and the inhabitants might not even have a clue. But then someone else comes in, and we're going to segue to you in this. Someone else comes in who's sensitive, and they start picking it up. And it turns out it's not for...
Yeah.
It's not for the relative. It's for the visitor. So I don't know. I just felt compelled to share that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thanks for listening.
From now on, when I look at my grandparents' picture, I'm going to have some nightmares.
Why?
I don't know. Like, have you seen the family tree I made for my kids?
I was obsessed with that thing.
It's still there. It's in my kids' room.
I love it.
And a few days ago, they said, Daddy, can you not put that on our wall? I said, why? He's like, because we don't want a bunch of dead people looking back at us. And I thought to myself, that's an interesting take. And that night, believe it or not, I was sleeping, and I kept on getting touched on different parts of my body. At first, I thought maybe my neck is crooked on the pillow. I'm like, all right, this is the chiropractic message, nerve travels down the spine. But as I laid there, even when I was awake, I was on my phone just looking at things, random things. And I felt someone like kind of pinch my toe for a second. I'm like, oh. And then pinch my, ear a little bit. And I thought to myself, maybe there is some value in looking at their comment that we don't want a bunch of dead people looking back at us. So I took that thing and I turned around and I put it back in their bed. And that made them sleep better and made me stop having those things. So I don't know if that was a spiritual experience or spirit coming to me. But when I do look at pictures, it takes me back further than I have to go as a human being. I know some people just look at a picture like, okay, good looking man. But when I look at them, it takes me down their lineage somehow.
It's a portal.
It's a portal.
It's a portal. A picture is a portal. A mirror is a portal. I told you about standing in front of the mirror and hallucinating all your past lives in front of it. I did so many shrooms at one point in my life. Come
Pizza,
arrest
right?
me, I guess.
Mushrooms on the pizza, yeah.
Yeah. During one trip, pictures started moving. And then that stayed with me for 10 years, even sober. So I would look at pictures and they would move back to me. And it was so funny because when AI started becoming really popular just a year ago, and there were apps that would animate photos and like you'd see them move just a little bit or like wink or smile a little bit, that is what had already been going on in my mind for the previous decade. So it was kind of cool to see it. But pictures are portals, and everything's a portal. Like the logo behind you is a portal. It all invites the energy with which it was created in. Doesn't matter whether it's a cartoon or a graphic. AI, by the way, for anyone who's going to ask in advance, has energy. The pictures that it produces have energy. They're from the collective, but your intention that you create with is infused into it. So yeah, having your grandparents' stuff up, the same is true of cemeteries. You go and you can actually pull, depending on how strong the soul was or how strong the soul tie is with earth, you can pull energy from those.
So the ones that decide to stay, decide to linger around, those are the ones you can communicate with. The ones who have pulled their energy out and gone to another dimension, or, I guess ghosts go into another dimension anyway. They don't
Correct.
stay around. And so, but you're saying some people even go beyond that into other realms, and you cannot pull from them anymore.
It's interesting because with my mom's mom, for example, the blue avian, she'll communicate with me select things, but it's all telepathic, and it's really strange and almost stoic. It's like there is a wall between my consciousness and hers, even though it's the same consciousness. I know it's life force energy. It's like there's a translation issue, but she wants it that way. She's not meant, like, there's a distinct barrier, like, my people aren't supposed to associate with yours yet. And I'm like, okay. But she remembers. Now, I don't know if it's because she went to a higher consciousness. Maybe blue avian is above human and they have access to more than we do. So she remembers being my mom's mom. But there are other souls who go into incarnations where there is like a cutoff, and even if you communicate with them, their higher self knows. But if you find them walking around on earth, there's no knowledge. It's like there's a cutoff, there's a separation. So when you get into the nitty gritty of it, you have to ask, okay, am I asking about the higher self of the person, the soul of the person, the animating life force, like their specific incarnation? Does that make sense? There will be a residual Ardy. God forbid, if you ever pass on, you may just be the one to go on forever, eternal life. But let's say you pass on one day. There will be a version of you that always exists in the ether that we can always contact. It's like an imprint. It's like a stamp. It's like a star. But your consciousness and awareness will go on into a new form. It's not trapped in that like residual stamp, in that ghost. Now, I know that you know someone who's essentially being haunted by the ghost of their father.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see if that person's soul is still residing in that ghost, or if that ghost is more like a voicemail message that is just waiting to play a specific thing before it vanishes, and the soul has already gone somewhere else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, for this person, she wants to be spiritual, but enough that when some spirit comes to her, she kind of freaks out. And I've told her, it's like, I think it's a blessing to be communicated by people who have departed, especially if they have good intentions. And if he's here to, let's say, give you a message or get you through a area of your life that you're being, unsure of. I think it's a blessing. So a few times he has come to dreams, and I think coming to dreams is just another way of seeing spirit, right? And then the latest one is that he manifested a bouquet of flowers in the middle of her bedroom at night. And both her and her dog saw it. And she was a bit freaked out by that. But I think now you could probably correct me, obviously. I told her, maybe you're not taking the messages that are coming in a slighter, more discreet way. You're not taking it as seriously. So he has to up the game to more of a creating certain weirdities around you.
Phenomena.
So that it will catch your attention eventually.
If there's a message that needs to come through, like I said at the beginning, these souls will find a way. So yeah, that could be upping the ante. You have poltergeist activity where an entire home or place can be completely haunted until a certain message or story is revealed. The other side finds a way.
And do you think they're watching us? Let's say we're in the shower.
Yeah.
Watching our...
Like who? Let's get specific. Like aliens, ghosts,
anyone.
Spirits.
Let's go to... what's the difference between a spirit and ghost?
That's a matter of the way you want to define it.
So let's say my grandfather who passed 20 years ago. Let's say I am in the shower and I am thinking bad thoughts about certain things.
Okay.
Or I'm in the bedroom with someone.
Thinking good thoughts.
Thinking good thoughts. Or I am about to steal a Pez dispenser from Costco. Do they see it?
Okay. I'm going to drop a spiritual tab of acid on you right now. Bing! And I need you to think cosmically and expansively here. This is the way it's been revealed to yours truly. That would be me. Hello. Every bit of your DNA and your cells contains all of the ancestors before you. And as long as you are alive, they are looking through you as a portal at all times. So,
Jesus,
you're never alone. That's a literal statement. If you get high enough or in a deep enough trance, or you're doing mirror work or any kind of sweet little meditation that I can teach you,
please,
you can begin to contact them and awaken certain things. You can even turn your gifts on and off and ask certain ancestors questions about attributes of yourself. The most basic way to do this is through your parents. You can really notice, obviously, what parts of yourself come from, like your mom and dad, for instance. But that is in you even more deeply as thousands of people, and they all exist within you. Your DNA, which I think if you uncoil it is like what can wrap itself around the earth or something. There's like an immense amount of information in it. That's actually containing like the eyes of your ancestors looking at you, ready to give you power, their gifts, their skills, what they overcame, their pain, their suffering. It's all there for you, but as like living entities. So this is why procreation, it's ritualistic and it's revered by all societies, not just because you're keeping the human race going, but because that's eternal life. When your line goes on, that's eternal life for your ancestors. Okay? It's powerful shit. Blood magic and witchery and shamanism and all this, we could go deep into the hole, but we don't have the time. So are they watching you? Yeah. You can think that there is a group that is basically looking through the portal of your eyes into your life at all times, but it's not with judgment. They're watching themselves through you. And that's a very earth-bound magic. It's not like their souls are watching you. Their souls have moved on and progressed. It's like their essence, their intelligence, their humanity, their karma. That's all in you. That's all watching what you'll do next, what you'll be next. And it can influence you. Anyway, so when you're fucking or showering or whatever it is that you're doing, you could say there's a group of hosts that are with you. That also includes what we would call your spirit guides. So just as you have human lineage within you, you also have extra dimensional lineage in you. So you have some kind of composition from the stars. It could be star species. We're talking grays, Arcturians, blue avians. So you've got your earthly ancestors, you've got your heavenly hosts, your guides, and then you've got the angelic realm. All of what you call space is filled up with these eyes.
Wow.
When you start to trip on acid or shrooms, one of the first things a lot of people see is eyes everywhere. Nature is watching you. Your ancestors are watching you. Angels are watching you. So if you begin to think you're alone, you've really slipped into the perspective of the mind. The more you go into the spirit and soul, the more you realize alone is a construct, and a very faulty one at that.
I remember the time I took some shrooms. Why did they take the M out? Anyway, I took the shrooms, and I was in Santa Barbara, and it was the first time I've ever taken anything that potent after a whiskey, right? So there's whiskey and there's nothing, and there's the shrooms. And I started panicking for the first few minutes because I was no longer in control of what I'm perceiving.
Yep.
And that was one of the trippiest things in my life. And I remember, as you said, plants started moving, pictures started moving. I even looked into the mirror, which I shouldn't have. God, I shouldn't have done that.
They warn you about that on the first
God,
go.
I haven't should have done that. But I was in my Airbnb, and there was this sliding door with mirrors on it, and I looked into it. And the beings I saw around me, there were at least 50, 60 people looking back at me. Anything from grays to weird creatures, everyone was looking at me, and you could see all their eyes. Some of them are blinking, some of them aren't. And I'm like, holy shit. You know. And when I told this to other friends who were doing it as well, it's like, yeah, I see the same thing. So it wasn't because I had no idea what it's supposed to be. If I had an idea, then I would say, okay, maybe I'm forcing myself to see things that aren't there. But for me to see those things and the way I saw them, oh my God, like you're never alone.
Never.
Even if you're doing things to yourself.
Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah. You're being witnessed by the universe. Okay, wherever you are, wherever there's consciousness, the entire universe is. Of course, I also have to say, as a human being, if you feel alone, that's still a very real experience. So don't try to mentally, like if you're feeling alone, don't try to convince yourself, well, Amanda said on the podcast that I'm not because there are like 1,000 aliens around me at all times. Two separate things, okay? They can both be true at the same time. You can feel terribly alone and still be witnessed by the whole host of the universe, and both are valid. But if you're wondering if they can see you, fuck yeah, they can see you. There are no secrets in this universe.
And there's no shame.
And there's no shame, and there's no judgment. Look, as humanity begins to, or becomes more telepathic over time, and we have a pretty telepathic relationship, but telepathy, I simply mean you hear your friend's thoughts before they come out of their mouth. This happens with me and you. At least I hear your thoughts all the time, and then you open your mouth and speak, and I'm like, yeah, I just heard you say it before you said it. Yeah. We're linked because I think our hearts are linked, so our minds become linked. That will happen more and more over the next hundreds of years. Social media is kind of imitating that. It's showing us what's happening like a metaphor through hardware. But the software of our minds, it's like we're all in a hive mind. Our minds are connected, our hearts are connected, our bodies are connected. It's all, there's no space. Space is, in fact, an illusion. We are all connected to both the dead and the living.
Jesus. All right, so the other day, my kids my kids called me. I was in LA, and my kids called me and, hey, Daddy, guess what we had for lunch today at school? And I said, baked potato with sour cream and bacon. And they both went quiet, like, Dad, you ruined the surprise. How'd you know? Did you read it somewhere? I'm like, no, I just literally saw it. Yeah. Right? And at the time, I mean,
Yes, I know the story.
Right.
I know what you're going to say. Yeah. And it's happening. I'm now more amped because we're talking about it. But the story, your friend, the sailboat, that whole thing, like you were very psychic. I try to tell you all the time. Yeah. When we tried to have an alien seance once, we didn't try. We had it, but I was the only one who experienced any supernatural phenomena.
God, I wish we could do that again.
You were the greatest channeler of the three of us. That's the irony. You will one day know, Master Builder, number 22. That's his life path number for the hyper sycophants who want to go find out if you guys are a soulmate match. It's incredible how much access we have to infinity, but have not yet opened up.
Yeah.
We are in for a treat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, humanity. Oh, sorry. One last thing. We're really enjoying like the suffering angle of humanity, and that will go on for some time. But when people get tired of that, they'll be ready to expand.
I miss that part of me that was so spiritually connected, that was so open to receiving, and I had that while we were in the old office for maybe a good year with my little amethyst crystal Pedro. And I recently found it. And when I held it in my hand, thoughts and memories and good things started coming to me. And I realized that when I'm not on my stupid phone, that's why I threw it somewhere. When I'm not on my phone, when I'm not judging people, when I'm not comparing myself, when I'm not worrying about money or clients or whatever, and I really tune in, there is so much happening around me, and I think everyone has to do that at one point, whether it's the meditation with breath work or whatever else you want to teach me later. It made me feel so, I know about, you're going to say some people do feel alone or lonely or whatever, but I did not feel alone.
Yeah, you felt connected.
I felt connected, and whether it was spiritual beings coming to me in my dream or even when I'm awake, or when I'm closing my eyes for 2 minutes to connect to something, and I would connect to it, to connect to my dog, connect to my uncle who has passed, it really opens up the doors. And then you think to yourself, the physical life is great. Yes, but the spiritual, like you feel belonging.
As a human, you're not complete without either one. So if you're all about the physical, you're incomplete as a human. If you're all about the spiritual, you're incomplete. I've had the privilege of living life both ways. I recommend a appreciation of both. You meditated a lot back then. I remember you would put Pedro on your forehead and like go into the zone, and we would meditate in the office in the mornings. The good news is that's always there for you still. You can always go back to it. It's just that life sometimes pulls us into the illusion, pulls us into the cell phones, into the drama. And that's where we're meant to be for a time.
But do you think social media, the addiction and the algorithms, are there to derail us from spirituality? Because I think a lot of problems in the world would disappear if everyone was connected, more spiritual, more aligned with their purpose, than watching algorithms and letting Big Brother do what they want to do.
I hear you, deep and hard. I'm going to tell you this. The easy answer is to say... Your choice
of words are really interesting.
I know. They're wet and wild. I'm going to tell you this. And the easy answer is to go, yes, Ardy, social media bad.
It is.
Yeah, that's the easy answer.
By the way, follow us on Instagram. And
yes. What are you doing? Insta. And what else do we have? TikTok.
And YouTube.
And YouTube, which is hopefully where you're finding this. But that's the easy answer. But the truth of it all is, as much as this is a binary universe, the oppositional forces, oh no, internal temp high, allow it to cool. I think that one might have just gone off. Yeah, mine did. That's funny because I could feel. Let me just finish this thought, guys. Oh, yeah. Because we had to switch camera angles because the other one died, because when you talk aliens, weird shit happens. No, I'm just kidding. It's not just aliens.
Actually, it does happen.
It does happen.
It's happened multiple times when we talk about aliens. Or
especially when I get talking with Ardy and Kevin when he's here. It's like we break technology every time. But I say all this to say, it's easy to say that tech is bad, that social media is bad, but the truth is, in this universe, nothing is bad. Even the bad furthers consciousness. Even the bad expands us and will drive us closer to the divine. That, yes, includes famine, genocide, killing, suffering, cancer. I hate to say it. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news for you, but there's a reason why the divine lets it all exist. It isn't so that you can suffer endlessly. It's so that in the bigger picture, the contrast drives us toward ultimate bliss. So yeah, social media, it can suck some ass, but eventually you go deep into that, and then you go proportionately as far into the negative, you go proportionally into the positive when you course correct, either now or in another life. That's the rub. Thanks for joining us. Our final words will be with Ardy.
With me, I think every time some weird shit like this happens, it excites me because I know, but a lot of people don't know. And I think the problem is waiting for proof. But when I see things like this and they say, like my dad, every time I say, Dad, like, be more spiritual, listen to your guide sometimes, talk to your dead father, say, how are you doing? Like, help me in a situation. He says, well, you got to see it to believe it. And you say, Dad, you got to believe it to see it. I mean, that would be my advice. Oh my, what the fuck? This has never happened.
Okay, well, we lost both cameras.
Wow, this has never happened.
Now we gotta go. Bye.
Triple Shot Mindset.